Yeah, I've been on the other end of that coin, like where I'm trying to write something and I'm trying to find a hook, right? So I got a point to make.
Yeah.
In fact, the point about storytelling as it relates to this webinar.
Yeah.
So it's a point that I need to make. I want to promote this webinar. I want to promote you and all the great things you've done to get here. And now I got to go out and find something compelling to bring people in.
Yeah.
So I look at data. I look at people who maybe have asked me to do this, but I want to do something. So I search and then I wait and then I try and figure something out, and a week later I find something, and I somehow related this to Aaron Sorkin and The West Wing, a show that I happen to like a lot.
It's pretty great. Yeah.
It is pretty great.
Yeah.
So I that's what I ended up doing, but it seemed like how much easier this would be if I just had it sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, because that resonates, that story resonates with what we're doing here, but it took me way too long to get there.
Yep. Yep. I mean, the Aaron Sorkin examples. I'm a big fan of The Newsroom.
Yes.
I also love The West Wing, but I love The Newsroom. Do you remember have you seen The Newsroom?
Yes.
So the opening scene from The Newsroom is one of the best written. It's by hands down the best opening scene to any TV show in the history of the medium.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't seen it, watch it. But it's the characters on stage and he kind of does this whole thing.
Why is America great?
Yeah, why is America the greatest country in the world?
Yeah.
And he says, America's not the greatest country in the world anymore. And the room goes silent.
Yeah.
And he has that provocative statement. And then he kind of goes into a little bit of a rant. And then eventually gets to his proof points.
Yes.
And his proof points are, we're 56 in household income, we're 73rd in infant mortality, we're this,
Literacy,
we're this,
yeah.
and he goes through all those great data points. Had he started the speech that says, 56 in infant mortality, all the data points, we'd be falling asleep. It's just more data. But by leading with such a provocative statement of America's not the greatest country in the world anymore, that character silenced the room and they paid attention.
Exactly.
And the important part was the data points, but he had to get their attention before he delivered them.
And if he had done it first too, the two people on either side of him would have started giving him other data points, I'm sure.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That would have gone against, that have been thinking about it at a minimum, but they were so taken back, we literally should link to we're going to link to this. Get this on it for people to see. But yeah, they were so busy thinking about that big word, the beginning of what he had just said, that they were just in shock, right?
Yeah. And you raised a great point there that we didn't talk about earlier, but that when you lead with data, you open yourselves up and other people go, well, our research shows.
Yes.
Right? And we see this with political parties all the time where they skew the data. They're not lying. The data's real, but they're cherry picking data points to support their own cause. And when you lead with data, then other people go, yeah, I don't buy it because I got my own data that says something different.